Look at Imam Hassan alayhi salam. Subhanallah. The food which was eaten and served from his house. The clothes he used to wear and how he used to ride whilst he was, after the death and demise and martyrdom of his father, how he rode on the most splendid horse, with wonderful clothes, with an entourage. Yet he was detached from this. It is not the case that all of us have to be poor, or all of us have to be rich. I may have to be owning this much or this much, and my brother Imad may have to own this much or this much, and the Sheikh may have to own something else, and my other brothers may. Everybody's path to Allah is different. He works as a certain thing, I work as something else. His background is something, my background is something else. We shouldn't expect all of us to be the same. We should all be the same. We do what we have to in the way of Allah, for Allah, and this is the key, that we act for Allah. Even when I buy a large house, my intention is Allah. Somehow, somewhere I'm doing it for Allah, I know why. My brother may not know why. He doesn't have to know why. When Imam Hassan alayhi salam was riding in this way, in such a splendid manner, with these clothes, with these type of horses, one of the munafiqeen, hypocrites, haters of the Ahlul Bayt, someone who had misunderstood dunya and akhirah altogether, but tried to be pious in front of the people, he came in his ragged clothes, ripped clothes, in front of our Imam, whilst Imam was riding, said to Imam, look at you, how you are. Did your grandfather not say, Ad-dunya sijnul mu'min wa jannatul kafir? That the dunya is a prison for the believer and a jannah, a paradise for the disbeliever. Did he not say this? Look at your situation, look at my situation. Try to ask him, who is the real mu'min? Who is the real kafir? Imam is like in Jannah, if you like, and this person was like in a prison in ragged clothes. Imam replied to him, if you could see your akhirah, definitely you would be in relation to that, you are in Jannah right now. And if you could see my akhirah, definitely you would say this is like a prison for me right now. Imams know what they are doing. We may try to be munafiq in this way and act in a certain way. Imams completely were detached. Even Imam Sadiq alayhi salam used to dress in a better way than some of his forefathers, and a better way than some of his children and grandchildren of the Ahlul Bayt. He lived like the people. Yet what did he say, as we discussed in our talk? He himself said, إِنَّ الدُّنْيَا لِنَفْسِي بِمَنْزِلَةِ الْمِيتَةِ إِذَا اضْطَرَرْتُ إِلَيْهَا أَكَلْتُ مِنْهَا. That this dunya is like the plane of death for me, completely detached from it. When I need to take something from it or eat something from it, I take. When I need to. Otherwise detached from it. So when we look at the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, not just one of them, when we look at all of them, Imam Reza alayhi salam was the crown prince of the time. When we look at all of them, we find the piety they lived with, the piety was here and manifested outside in its own way. We have to be pious, ittaqullah, detached from the dunya, and this will manifest itself in its own way outside. I may have a large house and a large 3 cars in the way of Allah.
Sorry, can I just ask a follow-up question? Okay, so our imams, the Prophet, they were blessed with guidance.
Look at Sulaiman. He owned everything from east to west. He was detached. Sorry, continue.
That's okay. So our imams and our prophets were blessed with guidance and knowledge from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And can we not say, like, to a certain extent that they were the way they were because of this blessing? And I think, like, this is an important question to ask so that we can really fully appreciate that. Because sometimes I feel like, well, they had all this knowledge, they had all this blessing, like, who else wouldn't act in that way if they had all that guidance? So some people grow up differently where they're not exposed to such blessings and guidance, and obviously they behave the way they do because of that.
So the key is that we have to behave whichever way we behave in, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for no other reason. Which is why we discussed in our second talk, I think it was, about La ilaha illallah. If someone has been raised in a certain way, someone has been raised in a Shia family, in a rich Shia family, a family that prays and fasts and holds majalis for the Ahlul Bayt and gives their money towards these majalis because they see some blessing in this. But being rich is not a problem, like we said, but being rich, the way they live is a state of arrogance and pride over other people and haughtiness, and they walk like this and they expect for people to look at them when they walk into the Husseiniya or the mosque because of who they are and how much money they have. So a child may have been raised in this family. He grows up 15, 16. The key now is to come back to our Dhat, come back to the self and think, now what am I doing? I have been raised in this family. My father and my grandfather and all of my uncles act in a certain way. Is it the right way to act? Is what they're doing right or wrong? Each person will be accountable for himself. He may have been raised in such a society and he may act in a way because of the way he or she has been raised. But it's upon himself or herself then to think about these things. I may be rich, but how should I act? Being rich is not a problem. Acting aside from La ilaha illallah is the problem. Do I see myself as something because of my wealth? Am I attached to the wealth of my family? So being raised in a certain way, in certain families, certain backgrounds, certain societies, poor, rich, is not a problem. There's no problem. The problem is what we do with that situation. Allah has put me with an Indian background, with ancestry that migrated to Africa, born and raised in London. Other people here are Lebanese brothers, other people here are Iraqi brothers. Who of us shares exactly the same background? No one. Even two twins raised in the same family don't share the same background because they may have been trained differently and acted towards differently. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, out of His mercy, has put us in different situations. This is not unjust. The trial is now what we do with that situation. I may be in a rich family, a poor family, my trial is what I do in this situation now. Do I act for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or not for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Am I attached to this wealth? A person can own only one handkerchief, otherwise he's a pauper, and he can be attached to this handkerchief. We have a story, it's just a story, it's make-believe, but it brings the point home. There was a king who lived in a lavish palace, and there was an alim, I say in inverted commas, a pious person who was disgruntled at this king. Look how this king is living. He calls himself a Muslim, but he's living in this lavish way. Once he decided, being a scholar, I should go and talk to him. So he took his stick and he went towards the palace of the king. He said to the king, "King, I want to speak to you." He said, "Let's talk." They brought some tea, they spoke. He said, "You have all of this. Don't you feel ashamed in front of Allah that you own so much, you're so dunyawi?" And the king told him, and he said, "Look, I own hardly anything." The king told him, "Let's take a walk." He said, "Okay." They went into the king's gardens. They went far, far, they were walking for hours, discussing various issues. Suddenly this man said to the king, "Oh!" He became restless. He said, "What's the problem?" He said, my stick, I left it in there." He said, "All you own is this one stick. Yet when you're away from it, you're uneasy. You're attached to this one stick. I left my entire palace and my gardens and I don't think about any of it." The key is not what we have, the key is how we act with what we have and how attached or detached we are from it. Does that answer the question?
Yeah.
There's a question about why the Ahlul Sunnah fast on the days of Tasu'ah and Ashura, the 9th and the 10th day of the holy month of Muharram. For us, it is like we said yesterday, I think it was yesterday, we said that it's extremely makruh, karaha shadida to fast on Ashura, not haram, but extremely makruh. As far as our Sunni brothers and sisters are concerned, they have certain riwayat that the Prophet was advised to fast on these days and he did so. As far as we are concerned,